Okay. Welcome, Veritas family. We are excited to have you back with us again, our next session of Give and Take. We have Ann Rill here, who is our illustrious academic dean here at Veritas. Um, Two things. If you're hopping on live here, be sure to comment where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, also comment where you're watching from. Also, take a second for those of you who are watching live or in the replay, take a second and pop in the comments and see, hey, Brother Weimer, nice to see you in Iceland. Very good. Take a second to let us know if you've had a class with Mrs. Rill. She's been teaching with us. She'll get into her origin story here a little bit, but she's been teaching with us such in a long time. And so over the course of these many years, she's had a lot of students. So pop in and tell us if you've had Mrs. Real for a class or some other way that you've connected with her. Again, this is our second opportunity to do our give and take session here at Veritas. We're going to dive in. I know Mrs. Real has a busy schedule, so we're going to let her dive right into her origin story, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead, Ann.
Hey, well, welcome everybody. I'm really excited about this. It's great to see everybody. I'm glad that you are with us today. So God brought me to Veritas back in 2003, I believe it was. Yes. Through a number of circumstances. I was out of school where I thought I was going to be the rest of my life, but God had other plans that I did not understand at the time. But he moved me to Fredericksburg, Virginia, actually to teach English in the Christian school there. I was going to be the ninth English teacher in 7 years, which is an issue. But I was happy to jump in and get started. And when I was interviewing, Dr. Forrester was at dinner with me and he said, "Hey, I see you have an advanced degree. And what do you think about working in a college?" And that was exciting to me because when I was living back in Michigan, we had a Bible Institute, and I specifically went back to school to get a master's degree so that I might be able to teach in their institute one day. That institute did not last, but now I was able to use that degree at Veritas. So in December of 2003, I kind of started then. I was asked to serve as the general education department chair and to start with our very first online literature course. It was English literature. It was live online, and I had one unwilling student in Maryland. Her dad was making her take the course. But anyways, it grew from there. By 2008, I had gone back to school to get my master's in library and information science. I took over the library here at Veritas and moved it from a small room in the church building serving as a school library, expanded it by, oh goodness gracious, so it was about 20,000 volumes, and moved from Dewey to Library of Congress. Those of you who understand libraries know what that was all about, and into a new building, and started working in that role and came on full time with the college at that point, teaching more, still doing the work of the gen ed department chair, helping out with admissions some, and a little bit just helping out the dean as needed. And I served in that role for a number of years, jumped into institutional effectiveness, and then back in 2016. I gotta remember the date. It was 2016 or 2017. I was asked by our new president, Mr. Edmonds, if I would come on as his academic dean. And so that is where I've been serving since then. I met my husband when I moved to Virginia a few years after that from Michigan. And we have a little girl now, little, goodness gracious, she's 13. I guess she's not little anymore. And we will be celebrating our 14th anniversary here on October 2nd. So it has been the biggest part of my life. 2/3 of my career after college has been spent at Veritas, and I can't imagine being anywhere else. Over the years, I've taught the composition, I've taught the literature courses, teaching English, advanced grammar. Those are the majority of the courses that I've taught, as well as some of the computer courses because of my training. So digital media for ministry, you may have had me that as well. So that's kind of my story.
I love how you kind of glibly jump from one thing to the other, like we moved this library into this other building or got this library, and I know all the work that that took. To say things like we moved a library means, I mean, just mountains of work, mountains of finances, the teamwork that had to be. And we even purchased libraries from other institutions over
Travel,
the course
yeah,
of
I had to travel up to Michigan, and let me just tell you that story. No, we don't have a physical library anymore because of the way God has moved Veritas. But at the time, we were really in need of college level materials, and I found out through my mother actually of a small college in Ypsilanti, Michigan that was closing, small Christian college, and I asked about their library, and my mom didn't know anything about it, so I called them, and Pastor Phillips and Mrs. Phillips said, "Well, yeah, we're actually auctioning it, and it's going to be $10,000, 5,000 for I think it was all of the journals they had, and then 5,000 for the collection. A lot of it that was older. But they said so we're going to start the auction price at 20,000 is what it was, is where they were going to start the auction price, and I said, okay. So I talked to Dr. Forrester and Dr. Walton at the time, and they said, okay, we will offer them 10,000. I'm like, but that's not even the starting price. I said, that's what we can do. So I offered him that, and a week and a half later, I got a call from Mrs. Phillips, and she said, Anne Marie, I don't even know why I'm calling you or how we got to this point. She said, we had a number of bids in our library, much more than what you bid, but you are the only school that actually came to look at our library. And therefore, we feel that you will care for that library. And for that reason, we want to give it to you at that price.
Mhm.
And that's our leaders just stepping out on faith, and God took care of that. And now that library is in the hands of two other Christian colleges. So we didn't just get rid of it when we went to an online program here. We actually had two colleges travel to Indiana to go through our collection, box it up, and take it and all of our furniture to their schools where it is still being used to train people to serve the Lord.
There are countless numbers of stories just like that,
Yeah.
like over the course that we've been here at VBC, how just the Lord provided, and we couldn't see the end from the beginning and weren't really sure what direction to take, and the Lord just saw it through. And I love to hear these kind of stories that come back fresh in our memory. One other thing you said, you got into the assessment world when you were kind of given your timeline. And also that is a very, very small set of words to encapsulate a huge amount of training, learning, jumping in. It's all the hats that you've worn over these last 20 years. They all take a great deal of learning. I mean, jumping into iPads and assessments and statistics and things like that. So I hear it in the string of timeline, to fit into this short amount of time, but it represents such a huge amount of work on your part. So we're so thankful for you and diving in there. We are going to next have had asked you to do a tip or a resource or a piece of advice for the students. And as you've been an educator for how many years? I mean, you've been a teacher for much
This is
longer
my
than
32nd year in education.
so yeah, good bit of experience to bring to the table. Tell the students what you think is a very important tip as they're moving forward in their college journey.
Never stop learning, and never discount who or what you are learning from. My pastor, a long time ago, we were talking about books when I lived back in Michigan, and he mentioned the books that he had, and he said books as well as just life in general can always teach you something. And if you're not learning what you can do better, you are learning what you shouldn't do. And so look at every opportunity as a teaching opportunity, as a learning opportunity. Don't be resistant to change when change is needed. A lot of times we're resistant to change because that means growth, and growth sometimes means pain. But if we're not growing, we're dying. And so just continue learning. You get your degree, you're not done with school. We're never done learning. And so just keep your mind and your heart open to what God might have you learn through the circumstances that you're in, good or bad.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. Um, tell the students or those who are viewing us, what exactly in your role as academic dean, you're gathering all this experience that you've had as you come to VBC in this position. What exactly does an academic dean do in a college setting?
Sure. Well, I would say my main role is just making sure that we have a curriculum that is strong, that is that we can hold up against any other college and say, hey, our students are getting a fantastic education here. Part of having a strong curriculum is having a strong faculty.
Mm.
So I work with the department chairs, the heads of each of our departments, to make sure that we are hiring faculty who are well versed in their field of what they are teaching, making sure. So we do a lot of working with the faculty, training of faculty, curriculum reviews. We're reviewing some of our master's programs right now. Every year, almost we're reviewing different programs to see how we need to update them. And then on the fringe, I also work with our registrar and our advisors. So and sometimes I'll have to jump in for an academic issue with a student to help give advice there and in order to help a student keep moving forward. So it's pretty much academics and faculty. That would be my main role.
Yeah, good. Again, if you're just hopping on, be sure to leave a comment about where you're watching from. Also, if you've had a class with Mrs. Rill, be sure to put that in the comments as well. If you're watching live or you're watching the replay, we'd love to hear from you. Ann and I are personally very, very, very great friends. We've been together at VBC for, well, I've been
20.
here 22 years. She's been here 21 years, and we were roommates for a long time before either of us were married. So really just the best of friends. And so to serve with her is such a blessing. And also just to be just continue a great friendship. She moved away years ago, which was tragic, but it has been is the best for her, and it really is. We've been able to keep this really close friendship, and I'm thankful for it. So I'm thankful you get to be the first guest. I'm so excited
So
that you agreed.
can I say something? Because what we're doing right here with the student body is really something that Sherry especially and I we have been burdened about since the beginning of time, our time together at Veritas. In fact, back in the day, I guess it would probably be like 2005 or so, we saw a need for our students then who were taking classes with Veritas. We had a small group that would come onto the college campus, and then we did video conferencing that was live. But we saw these young ladies coming from these different churches, sometimes, hour and a half, 2 hours. And they needed fellowship. All their friends had gone off to college somewhere. So we started having them over on a Friday night. We did it for fun once. And then I remember the girls saying, so what are we doing next month? And it just kind of grew from there. And so we've always had a hand in the student body and trying to build these relationships and encourage others. And so with this format here, Sherry is continuing to do the same thing, just making sure that our students can reach out to each other and really can develop even across the distances, those deep friendships that will mean much to you in ministry in years to come.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. That's interesting. I didn't think about the connection there about the different formats of reaching the students as we have had, a campus and then an online
Yeah.
situation and just kind of bridging the gap there. I appreciate you bringing that up. Okay, so lastly, as we finish up our give and take session today, we are going to play a game, and I've called this Schmores because this is the top four. It's the Mount Rushmore of any given category. So it's the top four of any given category. She and I, this week's category is best sense. And she and I are going to go back and forth. And at the end of the call, I'm going to post a poll, and then you guys can vote on which grouping of scents you guys like the best. Before we do this, I want to do an experiment. I have not messaged Anne-Marie about this, so this is totally off the
Oh,
cuff. Anne-Marie, write down your first. You're going to go first. Your best scent. Write it down on a piece of paper. Do you have something there close?
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to guess it.
Okay.
All right. Do you have it written?
I got it written.
Okay. Is it something baked, specifically bread?
No.
Oh, I get it wrong. Okay, go for it. What's your first one?
Coffee.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the scent of coffee. I have, if you haven't done this and you like coffee, I have a little bowl. It's like a vase in my office at home that is full of coffee beans, and it has a tea light candle in the center of it, that has that aluminum outside. So when I light it, that tea light heats up the beans, and so I have the aroma of coffee in my office. So I'm getting the hype from coffee and the caffeine without drinking it.
Where did you get the where'd you get the idea?
I don't remember. I think I probably saw it on Pinterest or something.
Really cool idea. Okay, so her first one is coffee. I think she's gonna win hands down just from that one. See, I'm not a coffee drinker. It never even occurs to me. Now, I will say I do like the smell of coffee. I don't love to drink it because by the time I had to make it where I could drink it, it would basically be sugar. So I'm not a coffee drinker. Okay, my first pick is going to be, and this may be I may be canceled straightway, but fresh laundry. Anybody out there?
Hmm.
I love the smell of fresh laundry. Come right out of the dryer and it's warm and it's just, I remember when we lived at my house when I was seven-ish, 6 or 7-ish, and we would hang sheets out on the line outside and I would run through them, and I loved the smell of fresh laundry. So that's
So
my,
it's bringing back a memory for you.
yes.
I like it better than smelly laundry, but
I will say,
it
I'm glad.
didn't make my top four. Didn't make my
I'm
list at
sure
all.
it probably doesn't make many people's top four. And I'm glad that you qualified because originally I just said laundry and then I had to make sure it was fresh, clean laundry because that is definitely a different thing. So, okay, what's your number two?
My number two was baked bread.
I
So
was
that's so funny that you
close.
said it. I love to bake. I do sourdough a lot. Just made sourdough bagels this weekend, and I have sourdough bread that is rising as we speak,
Mm.
and also made sourdough Pop-Tarts this weekend. But the sourdough bread, I love the smell of that in my house, and I'd love to bottle it. I haven't found a candle or anything that has the scent of bread. But we always have something baking in our house if possible. So
I
that's
do remember that. I do miss that from having lived with you. Also, she used to make me when I had my two kids, she would make me
mm.
these crescent rolls. That's what I wanted. She didn't bring me any gifts. Don't bring me gifts. Don't bring me anything. Just bring me a whole mess of those crescent rolls. They were so delicious, so buttery, so flaky. Oh, I
Mhm.
need them. I need those now. Okay. So my second pick is now, I don't like to eat this, but I love the smell of a pumpkin pie at fall. Like you
Mm.
walk into the room and a baking pumpkin pie, or in my case, pumpkin cheesecake, which is what we would fix here. The smell, I don't know if it's the ginger or the whatever the fall scent that makes the pumpkin
Yeah,
pie is like is very, very good. So
that's a good
uh,
one.
I love the way it fills the house. The same idea with the bread, you know.
Yes, yes.
All right, what's your number three?
My number three is citrus, especially lemon. During the summer, I'll have a lemon or an orange candle that is burning a lot. So that's, you talk about fresh laundry. I like the fresh smell
Mm-hmm.
of citrus. I'll buy the grapefruit scented cleanser for my counters in the kitchen. Love that smell during the summertime.
Yeah, I do like a good citrus scent in summertime. It does bring back like a just a refreshing lemonade, anything
Hmm.
citrusy. I like grapefruit as well. I'll do those grapefruit spindrift, which I know some of people are just totally against. They're not they're not totally yummy for everybody. But yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Okay, so citrus was your third pick. My third pick is this is very specific, but rain on pavement in the summer.
Oh my goodness.
Something very specific. And I'm remembering like coming out of church
Yeah.
even and having it kind of have just spring rain or
Yep.
something. There's something about it. I don't know. I know it's very, very specific. And my next one's going to be even more specific and probably not votable. I will say, and then I didn't pander to the crowd, let's say. I mean, I stayed true to myself.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And I have one fresh outdoor scent as well. Actually I one's fresh, one's not fresh, but my next scent then would be cut grass. I
Oh,
love
yes.
to cut grass. And so I feel like I've actually accomplished something when I've done it, something that I can see. It's good exercise. Well, not anymore because I use a riding lawnmower, but I can pretend. But I do love the smell of cut grass.
I agree with you there. I had that on my honorable mentions. I had some list just in case we overlapped. I couldn't imagine we would overlap. I never dreamed we would, but I had some extra just in case. Um, okay, so your last one was cut grass. My last one is this is going to be very strange again, but I love the smell of fresh deodorant, right? So like usually men's. Sometimes the women's deodorant is too sweet or too fruity or whatever, but usually men's deodorant. So I definitely don't have a very generic grouping of scents. I have a feeling yours is going to be far more appealing to the widest crowd. But I do love a good fresh I guess right really just all of these are fresh with the exception of the pumpkin scent for
Yeah.
the fall time. So
You know what neither one of us mentioned is floral smells.
true.
Um, and I think my reason for that is they're so fake these days when you can smell that alcohol within those scents. I used to like sweet pea a lot, and I don't know what they're putting in it now. I can't stand the smell, but it's even lavender, whatever it is that they're mixing in with the lavender so that the scent lasts longer, it's ruining it. So I like the smell of flowers, but it's not something that I just want permeating my home
Yeah, and
all
it
the
would have to
time
be
because they're fake.
fresh and yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. It was never even on a consideration because it's sometimes too fragrant and some of
Yeah.
that can make your head hurt or be just too much. So, um, okay, so honorable mention. Here's my honorable mention. The first one is oh, I just went for the other one. So go for it. Did you have any others listed there?
Yeah, I did. I love the scent of a fire pit. So
Oh
fall
yeah.
nights, I like the sound of the crackling fire,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the scent of the fire pit as well. I sat out on my deck last night. Our neighbors had a fire going and it was 90 degrees, but I love the smell. So I sat out there just to take that in.
Well, you're painting a picture and I like it. I like it as we're getting closer to fall for sure.
Mhm.
Um, my honorable mention top bacon. I mean, who doesn't
Oh.
love the scent of bacon for such a time? The hard part is it's hard to get rid of.
Yes, that's well. See, you need to get yourself a Blackstone and do it outside. So we had breakfast for dinner yesterday, complete with like a smorgasbord of four different types of pancakes. But they wanted bacon, and so I did it out on my Blackstone. And my neighbor said, Do you have bacon out there?" I said, "I sure do. That way the smell's not in my house and on my clothes." But it was smelling up the neighborhood. But that is a good smell.
That's a great idea. If you get nothing else from this, Veritas family, get yourself a
Buy a
Blackstone so you can
Blackstone.
do
Yeah.
your bacon outside. I also like, I know you got to get, so we'll wrap this up here, but I also like, very weirdly, I like the smell of magic markers. I know some people, that's a
Mm.
very strange
Were
thing.
you that kid when you were little that sniffed them all the time?
Probably.
Okay.
It would explain a lot, I'll be honest. It's explaining a lot. So I do, there's something about it. I also like, if those of you have been to Sight and Sound, when you walk in, they have the glazed
Oh,
almonds
the
there.
almonds. Mm.
There's something about that that is like so nostalgic. Some of these scents are just more nostalgic than anything else. So what about you? Any other honorable mentions that you had there?
I had that. The only other two I have on here that I did not mention were hazelnut, which I have to have in my coffee. Big B, by the way, the best coffee around. And vanilla.
Oh, that's a good.
I
I
always
do
like a
like
nice
vanilla.
vanilla smell.
Yeah, I do like that a lot. Okay, so your official answers are coffee, baked bread, citrus, and cut grass. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. And um mine were clean laundry, baking, pumpkin cheesecake or pumpkin pie, rain on the pavement in summer, and fresh deodorant. So I am, we've got some comments here. If there's anybody, let's see, we've got some on over here. Let's see, we had Paula from Kentucky, Jonathan in Greenville, North Carolina. We've got Dental back on. He says that he had you for digital media.
Yeah.
We've got some in Maine here. We've got Weimar in Iceland. Bo Carpenter says there's a local roaster here in North Georgia, and sitting in their shop while they're roasting is next level. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you've got some. I think you win with coffee just right there. That's the first answer. Yeah, it was probably smart to lead with that. So. Okay, well, we are wrapped up for today. Thanks so much for coming on, Anne-Marie. That was super
Yeah,
helpful.
it's fun.
And we are next time, now next week is Labor Day, so we're not going to be having one next week, but the next time we meet, we will be interviewing Dr. Lester, our president. So take a minute, put a reminder in your phone, pop back on so that we can meet back on whatever that date will be. I want to say like the 9th. Yes, September 9th, we'll meet back up here, and be sure to share this video with some other students. And we just enjoyed getting to know Mrs. Rill today. And if there's anything that we can help you with as you're getting going in your term, in your semester, just reach out. We'd love to help you. You guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.